So, if you visit IMDb's top 225 films of all time, you'll see a lot of popular films like the ones I'm looking at now. But what do they all have in common? And sure, they're all great, but what makes them great? And what makes a movie a good movie? So, a general consensus would be most people will agree that the story, if it's good, then it will definitely make a movie a good movie. But there are just so many variables to what makes a good movie. So, for example, sometimes it could be a good plot twist that comes unexpectedly, or it could be an amazing action sequence that gets you to the edge of your seat. Sometimes it could be a guilty pleasure or a very good adaptation from a video game or a book, or the shots in a film that's just so cinematic it makes you in awe. What about the underlying message that the film is trying to tell you? Or maybe it's the comedy and romance? But sometimes performance from an actor or actresses just captivated us so much that it elevates the movie experience. Same goes to graphics, the scariness, or perhaps the most reused recipe in the movie industry nowadays, nostalgia. So as you can see, there are so many factors that influences a really good movie. But I can tell you, probably the most important aspect of a good movie is character development. But why though? Well, the short answer I will give you is if you're not emotionally invested or at least interested in the character's journey throughout the movie, the story, trust me, you're gonna lose interest very fast. If you lose interest, then what's the point of watching the movie, right? So I'm gonna talk about two movies here. I talked about them before in my previous review about Mulan, the 2020 version, and also Mulan in the 1998. Now, these two movies, essentially, they are the same, but the character development is very different. So I'm gonna start out with Mulan 1998, and in this movie, Mulan is just an ordinary girl who made a big decision to pretend to be a man to take over her father's place to go to war. And being an ordinary girl, she proved herself with hard work, training with the boys, coming out to the pole, and she showed a lot of bravery, just running with the rocket towards the army on the mountain side, and begged the boys to go on a rescue mission. When no one listened to her, she just went out by herself. And also she showed empathy when they found out the commander's father died. And thinking back in Mulan 2020, I think she did not display any of that personality at all. And that really separates the traditional Mulan with this new Mulan. So what about Mulan 2020? So in Mulan 2020, this Mulan version was born with superpowers. They call it the Qi, and there was no explanation given to how does one come with Qi. So being born strong and skillful, it certainly does not show that she needs any training, that much training at least. And there was one part where she had to help to fight back the enemy. She literally just dropped her helmet and let her long hair flow to reveal her true self, right? Because yeah, you shouldn't hide who you really are. I mean, she could have technically done that without revealing herself since she's already so strong, right? So if we were to compare between Mulan from 1998 and the 2020 version, I'm pretty sure most of us would be more relatable to the classic Mulan because she was just an ordinary girl who, worked hard, trained hard, and became a very accomplished warrior herself. Whereas for Mulan 2020, I can't really remember what she really achieved as a character, right? In many ways, she is quite similar to Rey from Star Wars, the sequel trilogy. Rey was also born with superpowers. Oh my god, they're both the same characters, aren't they? Of course, character development don't always fit into a particular genre of a movie. If you're watching a guilty pleasure, a disaster movie, like you're not watching it for the character, you're just watching it for the destruction, right? But I can assure you that in the IMDb's top 250 top films of all time, all these films have great character writing and development. So, if you're gonna watch a movie with this lens, I'm sure it's gonna change your movie watching experience. Cause I know I did. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below on what makes a movie a good movie, a great movie, or a timeless movie. And until then, I hope see you guys next time. I'm Abel, by the way.